Welcome to the Flying High Club in association with the World Aviation Festival, Lisbon 2025. This series in Lisbon is brought to you and powered by Swiper, the digital payment platform which works in managing disruption and airline compensation. Swiper is smart, seamless, and built for the future of air travel. You'll find more information in the link below and the comment section. Thank you to Swiper for supporting the Flying High Club at Lisbon 2025. Enjoy the episode. Welcome everyone to another episode with the Flying High Club here at World Aviation Festival, Lisbon 2025. It's been an exciting few days. We've had great guests and we're lining up another one. That's how we do it here. We bring you the best. We bring you the people that are really taking the industry into the future, and they are building what is the experience that our viewers and our people that are joining this industry are going to experience in the future as well. So with that, I'm delighted to invite Captain George Kamal, who is the COO of Kenya Airways. 30 years of experience, ranging from Etihad Airways to Air Arabia, and now he's at Kenya Airways. So I'd like to welcome you on. Thank you, George, for coming along.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
How are you? How's WAF been for you?
Great. And a few days, very busy,
Yes.
extremely busy.
Yeah, we've noticed you walking from here to
Yeah.
there, even to Vance and I. It's not possible. You've
Yeah.
been in demand.
I was running around
Yes.
from a place, when you come here, you usually have things in mind
Mhm.
and you want to action.
Yes.
You want to finish on those 3 days. So it took a few. The day one we finished very late around. We kept meetings until 10 or 11 at night from 7 o'clock in the morning. It was very, very, very good days.
Yes.
Very good results. We met with everybody here. I really loved it this year. I really loved it.
Fantastic. Well, that brings me on to my first question. Why are conferences like World Aviation Festival so important today? And what would be your advice for people that attend these conferences?
Okay. It is extremely important. And I was just now, I'm going to make it very short. We communicate, we get together, and we collaborate. The problems usually in Africa, and it doesn't matter where you are, Africa, Middle East, Europe, wherever you are, East, West, doesn't matter. It's the same issues: sustainability, digital transformation, all those issues. And we see it. Data is always a problem. Yeah. So we're always having an issue. So the issues with one airline, it's not only with one airline. If I
Yes.
think it's only with me,
Yeah.
it's not. When we get here, we stop everything. We stop everything in our day-to-day pressure,
Yes.
and we start thinking about how can we solve this problem. And you stand up in one stand, and he tells you something, and you go like, wow, I've never thought about this before. And you start having a collaboration. Today, I met with the 3-4 companies,
Mhm.
and I asked them, can you get together? Because if you are together, you make one single platform,
Yes.
which if any airline will be looking to have, will be looking forward to. You're all startups.
Yes.
So what I ask everybody who comes here, either an airline or a supplier or a provider, please get together, collaborate, work together. Don't compete.
Yeah.
Collaborate. Don't try to pull people out.
Yeah.
Just collaborate together, and trust me, you will get a results, an outcome which is massive.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's my point too.
That's really good. And also in that answer, you've already answered one of the questions I was going to ask later is about that advice to those startups, actually, because, everyone comes here in a mind, they've got a solution. It obviously is going to solve every problem that you have. And your time is precious. You've taken time out of your operation. It's a 24-hour operation. You've got people getting your customers from A to B, delivering an experience. So like you said, you've taken time out to switch off from that, which is hard in itself. And you want to dedicate that to finding solutions. So it's really, really valuable to hear that actually you're pushing them to say, actually, no, come together, or actually, no, don't focus on this. This is what I want to hear. And I think sometimes I had one of the startups come along and say to me the other day, because actually one of the best things I hear is someone telling me no, because actually it makes me realize, okay, there's something I'm not doing correctly and I need to develop that more.
Yeah.
So sometimes that could be the best advice rather than people just nodding, say, that's a good idea.
If I may add, we are working for the same goal. We're all working for the passenger and customer to come from A to B safe, secure, and on time and punctual, right? So this is what we're looking for, efficiency.
Yes.
So that's the same if you can give me that. If you can give me end-to-end solution.
Yeah.
So from the booking up to he's back home
Yes.
and he's flying again, all right? And to compensate him if required and unrequired. If you can give me that end-to-end, then you have the whole life cycle
Yes.
of an airline, yeah?
Yeah.
That's more or less what I was talking about.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So, in terms of innovation, it's a big buzzword, right? So let's break that down a bit. What what in that space is exciting you right now as a COO?
Ooh, a lot. What excites me is the data, is the decision making through data. We used to make decisions before. I was speaking about 10 years, 15 years before, or 20 years before. We used to make decisions based on what it was available at the time. So you used to make a decision based on some data and some gut feelings and
Yes.
some. Now, decision making is based on pure data. So that's one of the things which really excites me, that I need more data. I need more data to understand the where's the issue, where are the gaps, and then you can close those gaps. So the most excitement thing in innovation are the data, and I think we had a session here with David in day one, and he put us back into the computers, the old age where the server had to be carried on an aircraft.
Yes.
And this, you look back and you say, where are we going?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Where are we going with this AI? The AI now is becoming faster. But I would say one thing, which my people, it's a bit controversial.
We don't mind
Yeah.
controversy, George.
It doesn't matter the amount of AI we have, right?
Yes.
When you call as a passenger, as a customer,
Yes.
when you have a problem, you need somebody to empathize
Yes.
and sympathize with you
Yes.
and speak to you and have this discussion.
Yeah.
Even though the AI will answer you very fast, first
Yes.
call, blah blah blah, but still they want a human being to be behind. So what is my take there? Yes, as much as I want the innovation to be high, but as much as I want the training, and our biggest problem I can see today is not the AI, is not the system, is not the computers, is not all of this, is not the data. Our biggest problem are mindsets.
Yeah.
How to convince people they can get into an unmanned aircraft.
Yeah.
How to convince people that they can get into a taxi, which is not driven by
Yeah.
a driver.
Driverless. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is for me a training and knowledge to be transferred to
Yeah. Yeah.
people like me
Yes.
and like others in
Yeah.
in an age where this was not.
But Captain Short, I'll say that actually, your mindset is already there, which is really important from a leader's perspective. Because if your mindset is, well, this is how we do things. Yes. Yeah. Because there's no small feat. You've established yourself as a leader across the industry, and clearly you have a track record. And most people use that track record to say, "This is what I do. This is how I do it." But it's really refreshing to see that, especially from a leader at the top, saying, we need to continue to evolve. We need to change our mindset so that the processes can follow, the
Yes.
data can follow. So that's really, really interesting.
I think that's what the leader needs to have in his mind. And when you lead, you need to lead with empathy. So yes, we have data, but you have empathy
Yeah.
next to it.
I'm going to be, again, very controversial because I have an operations background as well.
Okay.
Can we get too much data? Like, I'm just trying to think. I'm in an operational control center. You're now, speaking to all these guys, bringing me more data. And yes, obviously there's a mindset thing because obviously I've been doing this now for 20 years. I've been doing this for 30 years. I know what aircraft to swap. I know what stand to put it on. I know which path to take because that's what I did yesterday and it worked. That's what I did last year and it worked. Now you're giving me more and more data, which could potentially overload me, could potentially cloud my judgment, could take away my decision making. It's all very, very nerve-wracking for me, actually. I'm sitting there worried. So what would you say to people that are experienced, are working in these operations, and how they can interact with data?
Look, to manage, there is a management style. There are few management styles. The manager for me to sit, or the officer who's sitting in front of a machine, actually, you're guarding this machine. Yeah. This is what I want. I want to see a platform. I don't want to bombard you with data. but I want to bombard you with solutions. I want to offer you solutions. And not only data as a raw data. No. I want to get this data into a platform, and this platform is offering you a solution. If I may give you an example, a very small example, and I've seen something here with a startup.
Yes.
Startup company. I'm not going to say names, so it's not a
Yeah, let's
not a
not promote
commercial.
them.
It's
Tell
not
me
a
who they are, we'll
commercial.
get them on.
Yeah, it's not a commercial. So they stopped me and they said, "Can you see this system, please?" I said, "Okay." And I looked at the system, and I thought that I'm going to take 5 minutes. I took 1 hour and a half, and I couldn't leave because it was very interesting for me. What it is the pre-flight, during flight, and after flight. So pre-flight, from the aircraft on the ground, you can see all the delays you have there. You can see why is the delay. You can see what is happening and who is putting the inputs. And it's a various inputs coming in. So if you're sitting in the operation control, you can see your aircraft. That's what you need. You can see your aircraft. You can see your manager calling you on the phone. Why is this aircraft today? You can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's it.
Yeah.
And you anticipate. This aircraft flies, it delays 1 hour, 2 hours. Automatically, you have the system telling you they will misconnect.
Yep.
Now you need to go ahead and rebook them. You click rebook, it rebooks. Put the hotels, it gives you a hotel. So you land, you found it in your phone. This is your hotel, this is your transport, or this is your other flight. Don't worry, everything is settled. Your bags are transferred.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah.
Even if it's bad, the situation is not good, but at least you're recovered.
Yeah.
You make a recovery.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Arabs is recovering you from
Yes.
end to end. And I was stunned that this is with the deeper details. I don't want to go to the details.
Yeah.
At the end, today when I'm recruiting, before I recruit somebody, I ask the manager or the leader of the area, is the AI, what the AI can do better than recruiting 2, 3 people? Can it do something? But it's not there to fire people.
Yes.
It's there to enhance their current job.
Yes.
In the future, definitely, we don't know what happens. In the future, it can replace some jobs. And we know that. Yeah, it can replace a lot of jobs. Even if it's mine, it can replace its decision making. It can reach that level. But in the future, we are looking at reducing manpower.
Yes.
So it's one of the highest costs
Yes.
we have. So what I say to people, do not take data as a threat.
Yeah.
Take data as source of information
Yeah.
to complement your decision, to support your decision, and to make sure that you are safe. It is your safety net. So when you make a mistake, you say, I made a mistake based on this data.
Yeah.
Okay, I made this mistake, yes, but based on, and it puts more accountability in place as well. Yeah.
Interesting. And it's a great, it's an interesting take because actually I think the theme has been what a lot of data, a lot of decision-making support is about freeing up the individual to, enhance the customer experience, enhance decision-making. Whereas I think you're saying balance, there is that, but actually in some cases, you see the potential, hopefully not for us for a few more years, maybe give that problem to our children, not us, that it could potentially, take over the whole operation there. And that might take a bit of time because it needs the mindset to change as well. So actually no one's involved watching over these planes.
Exactly.
But at the same time, how are we developing that data, that decision-making to get to a point where it delivers that confidence?
Yes, and probably in a few years you'll find 2 AIs sitting on those seats speaking to each other.
Potentially.
So potentially, yeah.
Okay, great. Well,
Yeah.
George definitely scaring us as part of his tactic at the moment. But at the same time, it's really exciting in terms of the cusp of revolution we're at actually. So fantastic. Okay, well, fantastic. That was really good. That's the industry pulse that we've had to cover. We now go into the cruise altitude. You'll be familiar as your pilot days, but we want to talk about Kenya Airways. Africa has always been this silent giant, I'd always say. The potential is there. It's always kind of risen, and then something has come along, what have you. But what I say about Kenya and East Africa is, well, look, Kenya Airways posted a pre-tax profit after many years. what do you feel like from your position? Obviously, you're privy to a lot more than we are. What has driven this kind of transfer turnaround for you? What do you think has done that?
Okay, a few things, and the two main elements we look at is the resilience of the team. So the team resilience, that's one. The second thing is bridging the strategy into execution. So bridge between strategy and execution. So this was de-linked somehow, and we made sure that this is happening in an efficient way. So efficiency is one of the things, and partnerships. So we start with the teams and the culture, uh, which improved significantly. The second one is efficiency. Those are key points. The third one is partnerships. And the main, which takes an umbrella over those, is transforming the strategy. So you make a lot of strategies. You sit in workshops, you make the strategies,
Yes.
but you come to execution and you execute some, and some are lost in or diluted somehow. But what we made sure of after we made the team, and we made efficiency is there, and we put a policy in place and it's working, and we came back to the execution part and executed point to point, point after point,
Yeah.
point after point. So we followed a structured way. It's very structured. We became very structured more than before. The teams are working on semi checklists everywhere. So, but they can deviate. They still can have the
Yeah.
and we utilized data again.
Yeah.
I will come to the point of data. We utilize data. We learn from data, and we use a lot of AIs, into the systems.
Okay.
So that's how we
Fantastic.
we
So in terms of efficiency, like I said, look, we're very privileged position to be sitting with you where we actually get some time to actually talk to you. I know on panels you're kind of struggling for the space to talk and make a point. So if we broke down that efficiency, what did that actually look like at Kenya Airways? As an example, what kind of efficiencies do you drive?
number one, we used to. I'll give you. There was a wrong perception that we need always more manpower. We always need more people
Yes.
to do the job, which is done by three. We need five. Okay, why? Because it's better. Sometimes it's a drag. So this is what was dragging us a lot. Okay, so the job is done by three. Let's do it by two, and let's have the two do the hours exactly as it says. So per hour, this is the structure. So if you are well structured, you will do the same job, same as we are sitting here. Okay, you might find a lot of people behind the camera somewhere else, but you have one person who's leading the camera, one person who's is in here. Okay?
Yes. Yeah.
So this is efficiency that I'm just giving you a very, very.
Yeah.
And then we go to fuel, for example.
Yeah.
Fuel efficiency. Fuel efficiency is one of the major issues. We
Yes.
implemented the FRA,
Yes.
the free routing airspace.
Yes.
I can tell you some numbers if you like. We are saving in the US route currently $100,000 per year. That's as a start,
Yes.
because we just started.
Yes.
$100,000 per year. That's a provision. We saved already in a few flights to Accra, which is West Africa,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
from Nairobi, just for
Yeah.
anybody who's
Yeah.
nowhere is Accra, it's
Yeah.
West Africa.
Yes.
We saved $80,000 until now.
Wow.
So we are saving a lot into this free routing. And the meaning of free routing airspace is a direct route.
Yes.
It's just instead of going into a zigzag,
Yes.
we try to get a direct routing. It's available in Europe,
Yes.
available in the US, but in Africa it was not existing. So we're championing this, us and Ethiopian Airlines,
Fantastic.
with AFRA, the African Airline Association, and other airlines, Florida, Morocco, Egypt. A few airlines came in,
Yeah.
and
Well, they can see the benefit for sure.
and to see the benefit. So we are moving with this very fast.
Yeah.
So it saved us a lot of money. Let me give you, if I do 5 flights
Yes.
per day,
Yeah.
every day for 365 days a year, I will save between 1.5 to $2 million. 5 flights only. I do
Yes.
120. So if I do 5 of them,
Yes.
I am saving approximately.
How important has it been to engage your pilot community in that? I mean, obviously, your background, you could probably see the issue here. I bet it wasn't an issue when you were in the cockpit, because this is the experience I've always found. It's every man for himself. There is this perception sometimes for pilots I need to get there quicker.
Yeah.
It's almost like if I arrive ahead of time, it's a thumbs up.
Yeah.
And I think from my mind, when I'm sitting on the ground operations, it's a nightmare because I wasn't expecting you yet. So have you brought them onto that journey?
We had to, I don't want to say educate by means of educate, but we had to send out messages. We make something called roundtable.
Yes.
So we sit together and we talk. During those roundtables, we say, okay, guys, we will have these trials now. We will try our best to save fuel. At the same time, when you sit in the cockpit, if I compare both, when I was sitting in a cockpit, I was always thinking of time. And you don't think of the fuel much.
Yes.
But when your attention is drawn, and I send you the statistics, the data again, I'll come back to the same point I spoke about. The data. When I bombard you with some data, you will be able to go and analyze and say, it's better for me to arrive on time, because sometimes you arrive early, you pay penalties
Yes.
because you will stay with the aircraft. Your penalty,
Yeah.
either holding or they're there.
Yeah.
Okay. And you think that because from a pilot perspective, you only see one angle. From an operation, you see another angle.
Yeah.
But when you sit in the office there, you see the whole angle in front of you.
Yeah.
You see the whole picture,
Yeah.
full picture.
Yeah.
Right? When you see the full picture, you will understand
Yeah.
that you need to arrive on time. That's it.
Yeah. And it's fascinating. I mean, we'll have viewers who are not so savvy with the operator. If they're just a customer.
Yeah.
How many times have we had it that you have an amazing experience on board, you really enjoyed yourself, and then you're sitting on the ground. All of a sudden, all that hard work your crew have done on board, what you've done in the lounges before has gone because you're waiting there for a stand that isn't ready, and things like this. And then, people don't understand why. It's because, like you said, you probably arrived 5 minutes earlier. That stand has still got another aircraft on it. That needs to come off so you can go on. But a small thing like that can ruin the whole experience for a customer because unfortunately they only remember the end bit and you've done all the work before the touch points. So
Exactly.
it's really nice that you've broken that down and like you said, from a pilot understanding that, like you said, not educating, just an understanding, because everyone focuses on how they can help.
And educating when it comes to the costing, the fuel and the money, and that's all.
Perfect. Well, I was going to ask you about, Kenya has obviously got some really ambitious plans around the fleet and the rehabilitation of grounded aircraft. But you've already talked about how you're executing that. So you've actually talked about having a really clear plan backed up by data, which again, for anyone, any people that are doing strategy, it's really, really key. Too many people have bold ideas and we lose the execution. And it sounds like what you've done very clearly there is made sure that everyone understands what is the strategy, how we're going to execute it, show me you're executing it, and show me the data and the outcome. Fantastic. So what I want to move into is in terms of the African context now, right? What do you see as the primary infrastructure or regulatory bottlenecks? Because I'm not going to lie, I looked after Africa for a while, airports, and it was fun, as I would say politely. But there feels like there's so many barriers to success.
Yes. Let me answer two questions in one. Yeah.
Okay.
Add to the previous question you asked about the plans and growth. So Kenya Airways, I'll give an example, and I don't want to take it, beyond the boundaries.
No, we know boundaries.
But Kenya Airways has plans in the next 5 years, by 2030, 2032, to have 60 aircrafts, new aircrafts to come. So when you say this, the first thing comes in mind: do I have a stand? Do I have a stand to put those? Where am I going to put those aircrafts? So we need a growth. It's a partnership, between the hub, the airline of the hub, the anchor airline,
Yes.
which is about 70% of the airport traffic, and the airports. So you need a sync. So now I have to slow down a little bit and see where am I going to put those aircrafts, and when is the new airport is coming up. So if the new airport is coming up in this date, then I have to amend my plan to fulfill that. The second thing is in Africa, because you're speaking about Africa in general, we lack two things, major things, which you said it, to be honest, you said it correctly. Infrastructure and regulation. Given an example. You're a pilot in one of the African countries. I don't want to name any country.
Yeah.
And you want to go and work for the neighbor who is next door, and you are actually on the border between both.
Yes.
You cross her on the other side, and they tell you, no, your license is not valid. We have to validate that license. If you come here in Europe, it's EASA.
Yes.
So you have the gaps are closed.
Yes.
What we're looking for, and I think that's in the way of the African Union, they are working on it to close those gaps across Africa. Yes, it's taking time.
Yes.
But it is there in the plan. There are fragmentation of the regulatory requirements.
Yeah.
It's fragmented everywhere. Everybody has his own approach.
Yeah.
So if I have a big bucket, which has engineers, pilots, cabin crew, all the licenses, dispatchers, everybody in one big bucket.
Yes.
Yeah. You can use everywhere
There's more
and you
freedom.
can share services.
Yeah.
I can share those services across Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have one of the people here who are suppliers, think about sharing services in Africa and bringing this. He cannot, because it's not doable.
It's not joined up.
It's not joined up.
Yeah.
So we need to close those gaps.
Yeah.
And that's what they are working. And we're working all on it. Even through the AFRA, we're pushing AFRA to go to that direction.
But then, for me, doesn't this cry out for things like what support are you getting from the ICAOs, the IATAs of this world, or frankly, do you feel like they don't quite understand because I think like you said, Africa is its own place. It has its own challenges and it has its own successes.
Yes.
You need to understand that. I think too many times, I don't want to say too much about the wrong type of people, or in terms of I always think about consultancy as a good example. People think it worked here, we'll just change the name and we'll make it Africa and let's go.
One size fits all.
Exactly. So is that how you feel about maybe sometimes how it's approached Africa?
No, I will tell you, IATA is working, is trying to the best. I think they can give better support to Africa. I do believe they can give a better support to African countries. We've seen that they came up, they try to push as much as possible.
Yeah.
However, there are still areas untapped.
Yeah.
Where IATA needs to look at, and IATA needs to be from Africa to Africa. You need to look at the African continent where you live there. Before I come to live in Kenya, I was looking at it from a distance. They told me, oh, you will go there. It's very dangerous country. I've been there 3 years. I tell you, it was a fantastic place. And I put this to Kenya Airways. My recognition this year, it came because of Kenya Airways.
Yeah.
It came because of Kenya Airways. As simple as this. Because of Africa.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are people who are looking at Africa. So I would say if IATA focuses more into Africa, give us a little bit of more focus, give us a little bit. So the AGM, why it's not in Africa? If you bring the IATA AGM to Africa, that will have a meaning to everyone.
Absolutely.
If you come, it was there before
in
Cape Town. I do remember that a long time back. If we come back to Africa, to Central Africa, East Africa, and I invite them through this forum now.
Yeah. Willie comes on the forum quite regularly, so we definitely have to tell him.
He was there with us in the IATA ground handling.
Yes.
It was in Nairobi.
Yes.
It was very successful, and we're looking forward to have the AGM one time in Kenya.
Absolutely.
We will host.
I look forward to it. So the invitation is there.
Yes.
Nairobi is calling, as you say. So fantastic. Just a bit more about, again, your job is to bring efficiency to the operation, of course. How do you balance the cost pressures, the operational efficiency, but at the same time, this brand promise of premium service?
It doesn't mean that, by the way, I don't have any answers for
I know.
I didn't see them.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that we have an efficiency or cost cutting that we really impact the customer. No. It doesn't mean so. There are some small stuff, very, very small, minor. Okay. If I recall, and I'll just say one thing, it's a not a cliche. It's a I think it's a broken record, but it's there in the Google. Anybody can Google it. American Airlines removed one single olive from the tray. One single olive, because it's not one single olive, and it saved $40,000.
Yeah.
The single olive is not. It doesn't mean that we are not efficient. We are
Not
cutting.
premium,
No.
customer.
You still have the premium customer. So you do small things,
Yeah.
which has a lot of impact to the customer. Giving you an example.
Yeah.
I had one type of food, and I don't want to say what kind of food, in the lounge,
Yeah.
right? Which made the lounge, which brought people are coming now to eat that specific sandwich
Wow.
specifically.
Yeah.
And they land, they go there, they go to this lounge, specifically this lounge, for that specific sandwich. Because
Well, you should be promoting it, Captain George, because we want to try this now. It sounds
Yeah.
fascinating. Because if
Yeah.
you're right, you rightly say lounges sometimes they're a nice space, but one of the things you can be disappointed about is the quality of the food or something you look.
Yes.
So
my lounges now doesn't have a kitchen. It's
Oh.
live cooking. It's a live cooking.
Wow.
So you have a
Yeah.
shawarma,
Yeah.
which is a doner kebab.
Yes.
It's there, and it's one of the it's something very small,
Yeah.
and it's not costing us much.
Yes.
But it comes, and this is, we removed some inefficiency,
Yes.
because the food which is used to be thrown away, nobody eats it.
Yes.
Okay, now we have everything live. So you want pasta, we will do it. You want the grills, we will do it. We'll do everything like a restaurant, as if you're in
Yes.
this saves for me
Yes.
a lot of money. I'm doing something else very, very small, which is the AI used on board of the aircraft. So you fly with me from the beginning of the year. You drink espresso, okay, in the seat of economy class. Let's say seat number 12, Juliet, yeah,
Mm.
12J.
Yes.
And you're sitting there, you had an espresso, cabin crew will type that on the application, it goes into the system. The next flight, your next connecting flight, they will ask you, do you want espresso? So they know this is the amount of espresso I need. So you actually can reduce the sodas, increase the, and there is a program here I've seen
Yeah.
doing the same, but
Yeah.
we're doing it internally.
Yes.
But it
almost
is
validates what you're doing.
exactly.
Actually.
So the weight reduces, the cost reduces without harming the customer, even customizing your
Yes.
flight for you. I'm making it
Personalization. Yes.
personalized for you. And I'm doing a meal selection as well.
Fantastic.
So this is
Okay. Well, look, you talked about partnerships as being one of your pillars to help the success and the turnaround. So, partnerships, code shares, alliances, they're all very critical. What do you think those partnerships look like for Kenya Airways in the next 5 years? I obviously don't want you to divulge anything that, you don't need to be. But in terms of how important are those and what does that look like for Kenya Airways in terms of the future?
okay. Look, African airlines in general and Kenya Airways specific, we don't have that amount of money and cash to go buy aircraft to go everywhere.
Yes.
So what we do, we are very proud to have alliances, like SkyTeam alliances, KLM, Air France, Delta, all the SkyTeam alliances. This is one of our major contributor to our network. One, we looked recently, if you see the news, we have an MOU with Qatar.
Yes.
So we have a new alliance. So you have the east side. So it's only for the east side. And we are actually working with operations. So when we look at alliance, we look at people who is looking at Africa the same way we are looking at it, the same way we are focusing on Africa as a hub and a growth hub.
Yes.
So if you are not looking at that the same way, I'm sorry, but we will not, Kenya Airways will not entertain such. That's why we have alliances who are very strong.
Yeah.
Like the Sky Team, like Qatar Airways.
Yeah.
We're really proud to be part of those alliances. Not alliance as means of alliance, but co-chairs at least.
Yeah.
Other co-chairs. We have a lot of co-chairs. And this is the future.
Yeah.
This is the future.
Yeah.
We can't work in isolation.
Yeah.
We can't work in isolation in silo.
Yeah.
You will shut down, and we learn.
Yeah.
We learn.
Well, I think you summarized it really well, right? The point is there is desire and ambition for growth, but there's a reality and the mechanism of doing that. So for you, some of that will be the investment in the fleets that you can bring in, and then the rest of it is through the partnerships to expand that further. Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to move on to now your role as a COO. What leadership lesson, especially or mindset, has served you well in times of volatility and crisis?
To two, three things. Okay, but the main thing is listen to listen to people more, to communicate better. The agility as well. Aviation is about so the only constant in aviation is the change.
Yes.
So you might sleep and wake up in the morning, and the market is changed.
Yes.
Okay, and everything is changed. We saw that with pandemic, right?
Yes.
So we have to be agile.
Yes.
We have to move immediately. So during the pandemic, because it came, it strike us.
Yes.
We started changing the aircraft into cargo. You remember, we started putting the normal aircraft, started
putting
putting
in
boxes.
boxes.
Yeah,
Yes,
that was-
I did it.
So,
Yeah.
but we took time
Yes.
because it was it's unbalanced us.
Yes.
It just put us in unbalance. So now we're better. We're much readier. We are more agile to say, if something happened, even if it's not expected, what am I gonna do? So prepared this. So this helped me a lot to lead the team, because the team needs a clarity, needs a direction. And if you are not clear with your direction, where you're going exactly with your team, and it's definitely based on the bigger strategy which comes to the whole company, the execution of it, how do we want to go with this, needs to be very clear, and we need to be very focused. Focused that this is the way we want to go, and be agile, not to stop, not to panic.
Yes.
Okay, that's more or less. We need to stop, think about it with all those pressures. We need to just calm down, take a decision in the correct time. Okay, because decisions under pressure, it's fine. We all work under pressure, but sometimes the pressure exceeds some limitation. You need to just take a space.
That's reassuring,
Yes.
Captain, because the challenge can be when you're in a crisis, you're ready to go, and to have a leader that is kind of saying, just let me listen, because everyone feels like they have to make a decision and show that they're doing something. But it's really interesting that your mindset there is about, actually, let's calm, let's listen, let's be rational, and let's make good decisions. So
Because filling the gaps, usually we try to fill the gap.
yes,
Even us in discussions, when we try to discuss something, and we try to, when you find the silence,
yes,
I need to fill that gap.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the tendency of human.
Yes.
So we don't want to fill the gaps with decisions. That's the
Perfect. Okay, we're going to move into the flight path now. This is your flight path, so really want to hear about, and I think I'll give you the opportunity because I read about this. But what's been your proudest moment of your career so far?
Proudest moment when I saw Kenya Airways 2024 making a first profit in a decade or more. I was very proud to be part of this team, to be part of the team who made this happen under the leadership of my MD and our board, and my team as well, and all my colleagues who worked very hard to make this. And we worked really hard 24/7 to put this in place, to bring something back on the table. That was a pride moment for me.
Yeah. And people underplay this because everyone assumes you make a business, you make money. Aviation is not the most profitable. Airlines is not the most profitable business in the world. The margins are single digit. So, and in particularly the challenges we talked about in Africa, you add that on top. So actually, you're still, as a team, being very humble about how you're turning that around. So that's fantastic to hear. But I also hear there's congratulations in order as after you've been awarded from the business board review. So tell us more about this, please.
So yes, I was rewarded this year
Yeah.
in 2025 January as one of the top 10 transformers, MDs, CEO, and deputies for the year 2025.
Fantastic.
By the Business Review Board.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy I'm honored as well to be in there, and I'm really happy to be part of their of this, and I think it's for not only for me, but it's for my team as well. It came after the success.
Well, I was going to say, actually, what that demonstrates to me, and I can see from the conversation, is where that's coming from. So huge congratulations from us at the Flying High Club. And what's really important is, from a diversity perspective, to see representation from around the world. So that's, for me, that's a highlight. And like I said, it's not just because of that. you can see the credentials behind it, even just from our conversation. So we look forward to learning more from you. And this is great examples of what is possible when it comes to working hard and leading in the right way. So fantastic.
Thank you.
Okay. What is the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
The best piece of advice is listen, 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 listen,
Fantastic.
and then talk.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
best piece of, because I was before jumping to conclusions before in my previous life, and I don't want to say the name who gave me this, but he was one of my bosses in Etihad old days, and he told me, hold your horses and listen. And the second piece of advice, you need to have a thick skin enough when you're in the management to take the pressure and react. Take your time to react.
Yeah.
That's also. I was a very thin skin when I entered the management. I was still,
Yeah.
not sure
Yeah.
which ones I can react to and
Yes.
which ones not. Yeah.
Okay. And then we ask another question is, if you were sending a WhatsApp, because that's what we do now, or if you were sending a WhatsApp to your younger self, a 25-year-old Captain George, what would you say?
I would say look at the finish what you do at work. So finish when you take a role, just go up to the end of it. Don't rush to the next step, because at some stage we rush to the next step.
Yes.
We want to be immediately the MD or
The CEO, yes.
CEO, and you're not yet matured
Yes.
where you are. So I will tell to myself, and I'll tell to my daughters. My daughters are 24, 25 years old, and I'll tell them, just hold your horses, finish what you have to finish in this phase.
Yes.
So you get the experience, and then move to the next. Don't look for a position, just look for to be recognized in your position, which you are in now, and finish it completely.
Fantastic. Okay, great. Really good advice. And I think definitely something people can take away. One last one, considering your career. Why should people choose a career in aviation?
Because every action you do in aviation, it will have an impact, even if you are in a very small position. Yeah. So let's look. I'm not going to speak about small. There is no small position and big position in aviation. The gentleman who cleans the aircraft. Okay. Some of the airlines call them aircraft cleaning engineering. So they're engineering the cleaning. Yeah. It's not anybody who can do this. Yeah. And it's not an insult to anybody. It's a job as equal as any other job without cleaning the aircraft. This aircraft will not move.
Yes.
So your job, whatever it is, it's small, it's medium, it's big, in the management or out of management, it doesn't matter. It has an impact, and you will see it.
Yeah.
You will see it on the aircraft departing on time. You will see it on your end of the month when you get your salary, and you see it in the bonus.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is
every role will have an impact. So
exactly. So that's why aviation reaches the people directly.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're now going to head to the quick fire round. One word answers. We're going to ask you some short, sharp questions. We're looking for your first response. Aisle or window?
Aisle.
Okay. Chicken or beef?
Chicken, it's more soft.
Favorite airport?
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. A lot of people say Amsterdam, actually. First job in aviation?
First job in aviation, I was a co-pilot, second officer.
Okay. Biggest influence on your career?
Biggest influence on my career. The one of my mentors, my former mentor, who was really punctual, very efficient. That's my biggest thing.
You share the name or not?
I don't want to.
Okay, you don't want to embarrass them. Okay, fair enough. Earliest aviation memory?
Earliest, the first aircraft I've seen departing one of the airports. I was 7 years old, and was for me. I still remember it until today.
Yeah.
Departure. I looked at, and I said I want to be there. And I was 7 or 8 years old. I was very young.
Yeah.
And I still remember it until today.
Okay. Are you a lounge lizard or a last minute dasher?
Last minute dasher. I'm a runner.
And tell our viewers a fun fact about you that they might not know.
Okay. I'm supposedly originally to be a dentist,
Ah,
not not a pilot, not
Yeah.
in this, not
Yeah.
in this, and that's where I met my wife
okay.
in dental school.
Wow. Actually, so you were
She's
at
a
dental
dentist
school.
as well.
Yeah.
She's a dentist as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I changed the whole career
Yeah.
into
From dentist to pilot, to
pilot.
COO. Yeah.
Yes,
And what a
yes,
story. Fantastic.
yes.
Okay, great. We're rapidly running out of time. In terms of landing now, if there's one thing our viewers should take away from this conversation, Captain George, what should it be?
What do we take from this conversation, please? Let's look at decision making in aviation based on data, not based on a personal
Mm.
gain or personal experience. And let's embrace the AI, and let's embrace technology into aviation much more, because it's needed. The last thing is, let's look at Africa,
Yeah.
and let's look and focus a lot on the infrastructure and regulatory requirement in Africa.
Fantastic. Well, George, that brings us to the landing. Thank you for being on board the Flying High Club. We really, really appreciate your time. We hope you've had a good conversation and enjoyed that with us. I know our viewers will take a lot away from that. So thank you very much. Well, look, we come to the end with Captain George Kamal from Kenya Airways. What are we taking from here? We've taken data. We've taken calm as a leader, listening. We've taken the fact that Africa is a powerhouse and it's about collaborating and it's about partnerships. So what a wonderful way to end. Thank you so much. As we always say, keep flying high. That's the Flying High Club. We can bring fantastic guests like Captain George along only if you're liking and subscribing and letting us know that you want to hear from these fantastic individuals that are in our industry that we can learn so much from. So that's us done. Keep flying high, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you to Swiper for supporting the Flying High Club at Lisbon 2025.